So hi, I'm Jolien Kennis. I'm a dietitian and I'm vegan. I have been vegan for almost 7 years and I've been meat-free for over 10 years. I actually went into the profession of being a dietitian because of veganism. Veganism actually made me more interested in a healthy lifestyle. So I really hope with my profession I get to inspire people to eat more plant-based and to help vegans to get to the point where they have a really healthy lifestyle and can make the right decisions on food. So today I was going to talk to you about how a vegan diet can work while being pregnant. I actually did my thesis research the last year in college. I did on this topic, so it was actually quite a struggle. You might not know this, or you might know it, but in the world of dietitians, veganism, it's known, but it's not really common, and there's a lot of people who thought it was quite controversial. However, we did the research, and I'm really glad to say that really, veganism can be done while being pregnant. So the things I would like to talk to you about is some stuff about micronutrients and what about protein and are there maybe any advantages or disadvantages. But before I get to that, I was hoping to know which people here are actually vegan. Okay, that's quite overwhelming, that's really great. And also, I'd like to know, are there any women here who are currently pregnant or who, okay, or who hope to be pregnant somewhere in the near future? Okay. So, especially to those ladies, but also to everyone else who might think about maybe one day becoming a vegan parent or want to educate other people about veganism, I hope to give you some valid information that you can use in the future. So first of all, what's really important during pregnancy is that actually your nutritional needs, they change. For a woman, it's quite a lot of responsibility to have a fetus growing inside of her, and it grows because she gives all the nutrients that the baby needs. So naturally, you need some more calories because there's a little baby growing inside of you. It's actually, the first trimester, it's really not a lot. It's pretty much nothing, so no worries there. But the second and the third trimester, you actually need quite a lot of extra calories. Maybe like half a meal extra, for example. Then when it comes to protein, I think generally omnivores overestimate how important protein is and how much we need of it. It's really not that difficult to get all your protein from plants. I guess most of you know that. But what most of you might not know is that in the second trimester of your pregnancy, you need 12 extra grams of protein in comparison to like not being pregnant. And the third trimester, it's actually over 30 grams of protein extra. To give you an idea, it's doable on a vegan diet, of course, but to give you an idea, that's like 50 grams of seitan, or it's about 150 grams of lentils. That's in the second trimester. In the third trimester, you actually need over 100 grams extra of tofu, for example. So it's definitely doable, but it depends on the food choices you make. If you are whole foods plant-based and you eat mostly whole grains and vegetables, it might actually be quite hard to get those extra protein in, especially if during pregnancy a lot of women get to experience morning sickness, get to experience food aversions. So in that case, meat replacements like seitan and even veggie burgers made out of soy can actually be a really helpful way to get in all the calories, all the protein. Then when it comes to micronutrients, there's about a 10% surplus you need of many micronutrients. So in order to get all of those in, it's necessary to take a few supplements. And for some foods, some nutrients, it's important to choose the right foods. So for example, to make sure you get enough zinc, make sure you eat some pumpkin seeds, and you eat some nuts, and you eat whole grains. To get in enough iron, make sure you get in whole grains and dark leafy greens. To get enough calcium, you can get it out of plant foods, but it is recommended to have some calcium fortified soy milk or almond milk, for example. Without it, it will be quite hard not to get the calcium you need. And then the ones, that's just food, so that's doable, I guess. And then for the supplements, naturally, as a vegan, you don't get enough B12. So you need to take the supplement just as usual. But there are a few extras. Folic acid being the common one. Every pregnant woman needs to take folic acids. But as a vegan, that's the same thing. Vitamin D as well. In summer, it's debatable, but definitely the winter months and summer months probably as well, a vitamin D supplement is required. And for vegans, there's just one extra one, and that's omega-3 fatty acids. I don't know how much you already know about nutrition, but in plants, we find ALA. That's the type of omega-3 acid that needs to be converted into DHA and EPA. The conversion isn't really that great in most humans, so in the state of being pregnant and also for young infants, it is advised to take an algae oil supplement that contains the DHA that omnivores might get from fish, but it's solely plant-based, and it actually ensures you that you get the DHA, which is actually really important for the vision and the nervous system, both for you, but mostly for the growing baby inside of you. And last, but really not least, is that I might be talking here about what's ideal. And what's ideal might not always be available for everyone. I'm talking about morning sickness and food aversions. It might be really hard to get in everything you need if you're sick every day. So in that case, I would like to reassure you that actually our biology is made in such a way that most of the time your body will compensate for what's the foods that you don't get in. So for example, if you don't eat enough calcium, your baby will still get all the calcium it needs, but unfortunately it will come from your bones and your teeth. So naturally I would advise to drink plenty of calcium fortified milks to get in all the calcium that you actually need. But even if not everything goes as planned, probably you'll still do fine. When it comes to other health practitioners, I hope that in the future they will also be more open towards veganism, because actually it's never been shown that veganism or vegetarianism has any bad effects on babies. So that's definitely reassuring. I don't think it's really that weird, but so that's been researched. And but unfortunately, not many health practitioners know a lot about it, and so they might advise against it. So in that case, I would, if you're feeling uncertain, I hope you find a way to, for example, vegan dietitians online. For example, you have Jeannie Messina, the vegan RD. She has a wonderful website with a lot of information. She also wrote a book. I'm sorry. Jeannie Messina, Virginia Messina, and the website is the Vegan RD. Me myself, so I'm a dietitian and vegan, so naturally I'm all for advising vegan women in all sorts of situations. I work in Bertum and in Mechelen, so for those of you who might want to consult a dietitian in those regions, I hope you might find your way to me, but there's also some other vegan dietitians in Belgium, although that's still quite rare. So I hope I gave you the most vital information. I actually organized a workshop for the thesis that I did last year. That workshop lasted 2 hours. Unfortunately, I don't have that time right now. But are there any questions? Yes? Yes?
You talked about ALA and the conversion.
Yes?
But for pregnant women, even with flaxseed, milk flaxseed, broken flaxseed, it's still hard, or it's just for convenience when you advise algae oil?
It's mostly to be sure, because if you limit your omega-6 intake, so you don't take in a lot of soybean oil, not a lot of corn oil and that sort of things, and you focus mostly on flax seeds, on linseeds, and etc., then the conversion is actually already a lot better. But the research also shows that the children of vegetarian mothers do have lower levels of DHA. So because of that research has been done, I would advise just to be sure, because it's quite, it might be a risk not to take it. So I would advise for it. Yes? So I just did the research on it, so I don't know. But that's also one thing why I wanted to discuss this topic, because I think as a vegan, it's important to know a bit extra about nutrition. Sorry. It's important to know a bit extra about nutrition, because people will judge you and they will think what you're doing is crazy. And if you have the knowledge and you can tell them, look, that's what I do, and that's why I do it, and that's where I get my protein, and that's where I get my calcium, then people might also realize, oh, okay, she knows what she's talking about, and maybe I shouldn't judge anymore. So that's one of the goals. Are there any other questions? No? Okay, thank you so much for listening. I'm really grateful to be here today at the Vegan Street Festival, and enjoy the rest of the talks and the vegan food.